Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid 2 Return to Samus. I've had to say that 3 times now, screw you recording mess-ups. In the last part, we started the game and eliminated most of the Metroids in this area. And now we're going to continue on and actually kill them all. The last two in this area both branch off from that room back there, and they're all Alpha Metroids, so, yeah. Thankfully, none of them are original Metroids, but because we don't have the... Actually, no, wait. We do have the Ice Beam. We can take on normal Metroids, no problem. And 35 left to go. Also, I should mention, after I kill this next Metroid, the earthquake's going to occur, and I'm actually going to cut back to the room where the lava railroaded us into this area in the first place, because I want to save time. So, just a bit of forewarning there. And also, if I recall correctly, in the last part I mentioned I was going to read the manual to you guys, so let me get that up again. Let's see, where is it? There it is. And that Metroid went down fairly quickly, I can tell. Anyway, in the year 2000 of the history of the cosmos, representatives of many different planets in the galaxy established a congress called the Galactic Federation. A successful exchange of cultures and civilization resulted, and thousands of interstellar spaceships ferried back and forth between planets. When space pirates appeared to attack the spaceships, the Federation Bureau created the Galactic Federation Police. There are many unknown planets throughout the galaxy. Many of these are causes for concern to the Galactic Federation. To take care of this, they employ space hunters, the greatest of which is Samus Aran. Samus' greatest achievement has been the destruction of the pirates' Metroid planets on the planet Samus. In the year 20x5 of the cosmos, an unknown lifeform was discovered on the planet SR388, where we are now, by a Galactic Federation deep space research ship. The research crew took a sample of the creature and placed it into a suspended animation stasis capsule, and dubbed the lifeform Metroid, which actually has been retconned to be a Chozo word for warrior. On their way back to the home base, the research ship was attacked by pirates who stole the stasis capsule containing the lifeform. The Metroid in suspended animation could easily be brought back to life, and exposure to beta rays was all that was needed to cause it to multiply. This highly dangerous creature will cling to any other creature and suck away its victim's energy. Samus, by order of the Galactic Federal Police, successfully and single-handedly penetrated the space pirates' natural fortress on planet Zebes. After a series of intense battles, I can tell I just entered the new area by the way, Samus destroyed all the Metroids she encountered. Her destruction of the reactivated Mother Brain at the center of the fortress crushed the pirates' evil plans. After serious consideration of how terrible and destructive the lifeform, the Metroid lifeform was, the Galactic Federation sent another research ship to SR388. This trip was to make sure there were no more Metroids left on the planet. They were so wrong. After a short time, the Federation received an emergency notice from the research base. They had lost contact, and the research ship was missing. The base had already sent a search and rescue party, but after their initial contact, the rescue ship was not heard from again. A special combat unit was assembled consisting of armed soldiers from the Federation Police, and was immediately dispatched to SR388. After transmitting the primary landing data, they were also never heard from again. By the way, we never heard from those ships, so those people are dead. Rumors spread fast, and again, the whole galaxy was seized with fear of the Metroids. With this limited information, the Federation was positive that a Metroid must still be surviving, hiding deep in the planet underground. Even one living Metroid could easily wipe out an entire planetary civilization. So the Galactic Federation called its members to an urgent conference to find a way to overcome this menace. They quickly came to one conclusion, which was unanimous and simple. Give Samus Aran the order to exterminate the Metroids. The underworld of SR388 is a complicated structure of multi-layered domes and spaces. Some of these contain ancient ruins of some unknown civilization. These are home to many life forms living on the planet. Samus, charged with her mission from the Galactic Federation, hurried to planet SR388. Samus' confrontation with the Metroids has started again. You must help Samus save the galaxy from Metroids. And that's all from the manual, by the way. In fact, that's the only story this game has. There's no actual story dialogue in this game whatsoever. Even Metroid 1 had that, which is kind of weird. So if you got this game used without the box or manual, you're kind of screwed when it comes to that. Anyway, now that I'm looking at the actual video again, time for us to do things, I suppose. Anyway, keep this waterlogged area, or room overall in mind, actually, because we'll be cutting here, I think, twice, because stuff. Because, honestly, I don't like these parts going over 20 minutes. I'm okay with it with certain games, but Metroid, no. Anyway, climb up this wall of the spider ball to get another missile pod. Also, I should mention, there's a missile pod I actually missed in this area that I'll be getting next part, I believe. It's in one of the early rooms. To the right of the first save point, if you spider ball up the wall that's above the door, you can find it no problem, I believe. Also, first off, I love this. The worst enemy to Alpha Metroids is a narrow pathway. Oh, Game Boy AI, you can't even figure out how to go down. Well, at least back in '91. Once you got to things like Final Fantasy Legend 3, you kinda started getting to be a pain in the ass. Also, that's actually something new to the Metroid series in this game, at least in America. Saving! As to why I'm saying in America only, in the Japanese version of Mega Man... Metroid 1, on the Famicom, there was a save system, but for some reason, when they brought it over to the NES, they got rid of that. Instead, had a password system. What the... Where's my item? I have to look for that, and it's gonna be annoying. But, mind you, actually, the password thing, to go back to that really quick, did at least give us some infamous things like Nar Password, Nar Password with a bunch of zeros, Justin Bailey, and the ever so infamous glitch known as Engage Ridley Motherfucker. I'll show that off when I get to doing that game. Oh, and it's funny. Anyway, essentially we got a whole bunch of item balls here, and sadly only one of them has something in it. And it's this one right here. And what is it? Samus's Various Suit, which, for the first time in the series, gives Samus her infamous shoulder pads. And there's a reason for why that is, too. It also makes her slightly taller for some reason. Anyway, as for why that is, in Metroid 1 and in Zero Mission, the Various Suits didn't change the design of the power suit at all. It just turned it a different color. Those who watch my Zero Mission Let's Plays will know that. And when it came to doing that for this, they couldn't really change the color of the suit because, you know, monochrome screen and everything. So what they did is they just made a new design for it entirely, which stuck with her and became her most infamous outfit. And also made some people believe she's a football player. And no, I don't mean soccer, because I know the World Cup's going on at this very moment. Then again, by the time this is uploaded, this very well might be 2015. Well, actually... actually, no, maybe not. I'm gonna take a guess and say this might be in... October through December. By the way, Alpha Metroids look really ugly from up front. Ugh. Thankfully, though, this is the only appearance in the main games that Alpha Metroids make an appearance. They would later make a cameo in Metroid Fusion, as I believe I showed off back in those 2 Let's Plays of that game. But, besides that, they're never being seen from again. Only one enemy from this game makes a full-out return that's not the final boss of Fusion. I'm not gonna say what that is, because spoilers. Though mind you, if you guys are watching this, you guys know I play games in all the wrong order, so you really shouldn't care about spoilers. By the way, if you're ever in a Morphball passageway, I recommend the moment you get into it, deactivate Spider Ball if you have it on, because otherwise it can be annoying. Oh, by the way, these doors, they won't show up because of the Game Boy monochrome screen and all, but they're actually red on the Super Game Boy, and we got the Wave Beam! New for us, but not for the series. The Wave Beam was a Metroid 1 thing, however, no one ever really uses it in my experience because the Ice Beam is just kind of necessary in that one. Anyway, what the Wave Beam does, as you can plainly see, it shoots your pellets in a wave motion. It's an overall power upgrade, and it also goes through walls, so it's overall pretty good. I recommend getting it. It's completely optional, though. In fact, a lot of the stuff in this game is. Also, keep this room right here with the white blocks in mind for later. I'll be cutting back to it, or at least cutting most of the journey back to it out, because... reasons. And we got the high jump boots, so now Samus can effectively jump higher overall. And by that I mean, be Michael Jordan, essentially. Come on, Samus, get up and slam, let's jam. I probably said that so wrong, but I don't care, Space Jam's pretty meh. Though mind you, I do enjoy a lot of the cheesiness that it has. Also, with that missile door back there destroyed, I should probably mention that this is the second to last game in the series where missile doors take 5 missiles. The only games in the series that do that are this one, Metroid 1, and Super Metroid. After fusion, all missile doors only take one missile, which is very useful. By the way, you got an energy tank and missile pod in here, so yeah, get those. Unless you're doing a challenge run, in which case, why are you doing a challenge run of Metroid 2? That's kind of a random one to do. Anyway, the way to the white block room requires you to jump on the enemies in this room and then spiral up that wall. That took me about 5 minutes to figure out for some reason, so that's why I edited it out. And we're coming over here because 2 more missile packs. Or pods. Missile pods. By the way, blocks reforming can damage you, so watch out for that. And now we're gonna cut back to the waterlogged room because, I don't like these being that long, as I mentioned earlier. Actually, that's one weird thing. This is the only game in the series where they're called missile pods, unless Metroid 1 calls them that. Everything else in the series calls them either missile packs or missile expansions. Or just missiles overall, if you're Super Metroid. And down here, we got a hallway. But over here, we got another red door, or slightly different gray tone door. And also, for those wondering why I'm paused here, it's because my controller was freaking out for a brief second. And oh my god, what the... Meet Arachnus. This guy look familiar from Fusion? This is his only other appearance in the series, and pretty much he's a mini-boss. I believe missiles work, but morph ball bombs are the way I usually take them out. In fact, morph ball bombs in this game are kind of powerful. I think they're the equivalent of a good 10 missiles, depending on the enemy. But for defeating him, we get the first appearance of a new item in the series, the Spring Ball, even though the text on the screen, as there is none, would not show that. Essentially, it changes our morph ball's design and allows us to jump with it. Very useful, surprisingly. I kind of wish the first Metroid had this, because once you get used to spring balling, you kind of can't get out of it. Although, actually, I forget if it's called the jump ball in this or the spring ball, because it goes through a couple of name changes. I know it's the spring ball in Super Metroid. Wait, was it in Super Metroid? Yeah, it was, I think. It's been a while since I played Super Metroid. And that's actually a trick you'll probably see me using a lot right there, is spider balling up a wall, pressing A to go back to a morph ball, and hugging up another wall while pressing the down again to reach spider ball. That felt like a really long and unneeded explanation, but it helps you go from wall to wall either way. Because the wall jump does sadly not exist yet in this game. That's not until the next one. You know, I mentioned it last part as well, but I really wish this game had more music. It's mostly just atmospheric pieces, and I know that can be good in some cases, like Prime 1 does it pretty well, Other M does it pretty well, in my opinion. I'm probably the only person that likes that game's soundtrack. And Prime 3 does it fantastically as well, but this one's just meh. But when there is actual music, I will admit I do enjoy it. Aside from the Metroid boss theme, that's pretty meh. Also, coming up here in a sec, you're gonna see me bombing the ceiling, I believe. That's because I'm checking for missile packs, pods, rather. Certain rooms in the game like to do that to you, where there are walls you cannot tell you can destroy at all. But then again, Metroid 2 and 1 do that in general. Also, hitting a bomb takes you out of Spider Ball, which can be annoying at times. Very specific times only, though. And why did we come up here? A singular Alpha Metroid. Now you might be wondering, are we gonna be fighting Alpha Metroids the entire game? The answer is yes. However, we'll get certain twists to that later on. And by later on, I mean in the next 2 minutes. Also, the enemies that like the one I just destroyed a couple seconds ago, remind me oddly of Dr. Mario, and I don't know why. Oh boy, this room looks familiar. Yeah, Metroid 2 does copy and paste some rooms, but thankfully it's nowhere near as guilty as Metroid 1. Metroid 1 is so easy to get lost in because of that, ugh. And the reason we're coming over here is because of another Metroid. Okay, Alpha, let's take guess what the name of what? Meet the Gamma Metroids. They are bigger and do more damage, however, because they're bigger, they are a much easier target. So it all balances out in the end. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time Let's Play Metroid 2 Return to Samus, we'll be continuing on in this area and killing the rest of the Metroids in this area. See you guys then.